It is now July 2025, and that means it's been a while since I put out an update on the Falmouth Line. Last time we checked in, a senator tried sneaking in an amendment to somehow authorize the removal of the line. This was met with some serious backlash from rail advocates and was pulled. Amendments like this wouldn't actually authorize the removal of the tracks as the federal government has the final say, but any move like this needs to be shot down. Now let's catch up to 2025. Even after all these years of effort by bike trail advocates to rip up the Falmouth Line, the trains keep rolling. Whether it be the freight train moving construction and demolition debris off Cape, or the Cape Cod Central dinner train keeping a safe distance away from the CapeFlyer by clearing up on the Falmouth Line, the tracks are active and in use. Meanwhile, there is not a single piece of evidence of a trail here, even after all these years of loud cries to remove the tracks. No rails or ties have been removed, no asphalt has been put down, and certainly no physical sign of the effort exists other than a few remaining lawn signs that demand ripping up the tracks. In just the past month or so alone, I have been able to capture 3 freight trains and the Cape Cod Central dinner train on the Falmouth Line while also working my full-time job. I've gotten pretty lucky with these catches, timing it just right around my work schedule. But I should note that there are more movements on the line other than the ones I have filmed. Plenty of C&D material is still moving, and I believe Municipal Solid Waste, MSW for short, has made trips over the line. MSW will return more regularly in the future, but unfortunately I do not have the details on that just yet. In addition to the continued operation of trains, there's a push to bring more trains to the Falmouth Line. A commuter rail bill has been in the works, and while it initially seeks to extend commuter rail only as far as Buzzards Bay, it'll look to study passenger rail to Falmouth and other Cape points after. I have done some videos about Cape Cod passenger rail previously, so you can check those out after. While the bill doesn't get into specifics, extending commuter rail, or at least a more frequent CapeFlyer type service down the Falmouth Line, could help get people to skip traffic and commute more efficiently. One big potential benefit of passenger rail on the Falmouth Line would be helping people get to and from the ferry at Woods Hole. While I don't think the bill aims to restore service directly to Woods Hole, some sort of multimodal connection could be established where passengers transfer to a bus for the final miles to Woods Hole. Currently, you have to drive through traffic to get to Falmouth just to ditch your car in one of the parking lots and then take a bus to the ferry. Being able to take a train over the least used canal bridge would definitely save on travel time, as you won't be stuck in traffic. In addition to the island goers, you could also serve the people of Falmouth and those who work there. I'd say it would be a big plus if some sort of passenger service is established, even if it isn't as frequent as other MBTA lines closer to Boston. While I see the benefit of it, others don't. These being trail advocates that have pushed against this bill as it could derail their plans to rip up the tracks, as if the tracks being active, being part of the strategic rail network, and being protected by the federal government doesn't already squash it. The trail folks are afraid they may lose their federal funding as time is running out to use it. If the tracks aren't removed very soon, they will not be able to use the money that hinges specifically on ripping up the tracks. Well, the tracks aren't just going to be removed on a whim because people want to ride their bicycles, so I guess they're out of luck. Perhaps they should have shifted to a rail with trail focus a long time ago, and maybe they could have actually had something to show for their efforts by now. Anyways, plenty of folks do understand the importance of rail. Just ask the 500 plus people who rode the CapeFlyer Sunday night after the 4th of July weekend. Despite the anti-rail attitude of Bourne, 169 people boarded the train at the Bourne platform that day. 62 of those passengers came up on a bus from the ferry. 347 other people originated their trip in Hyannis. The numbers don't lie. Train service does work and people do ride it. Over 500 people rode on one single train. Now imagine if multiple trains and different schedules were run, then naturally more people would be able to ride it. It'll be a while before we see increased passenger rail out this way, but the bill is an important step in the right direction. Their study of Cape Cod service combined with the extension to Buzzards Bay are big, and I'm excited to see how this will play out. While Buzzards Bay service stops short of the canal and dumps you off into the traffic-stricken area before the Bourne Bridge, you do need rail set up to Buzzards Bay first before extending across the canal. Until then, the CapeFlyer will continue to provide service to these areas, Mass Coastal will continue to operate freight on the Falmouth Line, and the popular Cape Cod Central dinner trains will take advantage of this line to safely clear out of the way of the CapeFlyer, while also taking in some of the best scenery along any of Cape's rail lines. Stay tuned for future updates on the Falmouth Line, as well as the Cape Cod Commuter Rail study.